Good morning, everyone. Hello from Honolulu. Today we're doing our Chatting with Charlie. Hi, Charlie. How are you doing?
Wonderful. It's good to see you.
So, Charlie, first question off the bat. We're still in our government shutdown. How does that impact the Visa Bulletin?
Well, for in terms of the State Department and USCIS, I think things will go on as normal since consular affairs and USCIS are basically fee-based operations. So the shutdown, the appropriation didn't really affect processing. So I believe they may slow things down a little bit, but otherwise it's quote operations as normal.
Yeah, we're still seeing approvals for adjustment of status. So I think we're good there. So cases are still moving along despite the government shutdown, which we still don't know when it will end. Is that correct, Charlie?
Correct, and, I would expect the Visa Bulletin to come out as normal regardless of the shutdown. Again, certain things may slow down a little bit, but, it's life goes on.
Okay, okay. And then if we look at our family base, the November Visa Bulletin, we see a bit of movement, right, in the F2B for all chargeability, China and India. Any comments there?
No, there were dramatic movements for the month of October, and so, as you mentioned, the F2B, it moved ahead by 1 week, but otherwise things basically stayed the same. So, hopefully, starting in December, we'll see another move, or they will do this on a quarterly basis as they've been doing with employment.
Okay, and then third preference for Mexico moved just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So now on to our employment based. And if we're looking at all chargeability, we're holding steady, right, Charlie? No movement.
Correct. And this, as we mentioned last month, I believe they'll continue with their adopted policy of making the major moves on a quarterly basis for at least the first half of the year. So, October, January, and potentially some movement in April. If they see that their original estimates are producing less demand than they anticipated, then they may make some minor adjustments.
Okay. So still get your adjustment of status filings, but you still have some time. And also remember that they're not accepting any filing fee checks any longer. You're going to have to submit your credit card or your ACH bank's information. So if we go to the next slide, again, no movement, right, Charlie? China's holding steady.
Yeah, holding steady. And again, in the first preference, although there may be some quarterly movement in the second and third, I would expect the China first to hold for a longer period of time before any additional movements.
Okay. And if we go to India, again, same thing, no movement. We're holding steady.
Same thing, again, especially with the first preference. Although it would be appreciated, I would not expect any movement in the India employment first preference for the foreseeable future. There's just so much pent up demand that they can wait until much later in the year to make any movement at a time that they can be more confident in estimates of potential unused numbers, which could flow for use in the India employment first preference.
Okay, and if we move to dates for filing, did we see any movement, Charlie, or it's the same?
All the same dates. Typically, the application filing dates for filing only move in October, make the big jumps, and then it's unlikely that they'll move until much later in the year, if at all.
Okay. And then your predictions?
Yeah, these predictions, these are on average over a course of time. Again, as I mentioned last month, when it says up could mean 0 to the weeks mentioned. Again, plan on movements in January. If you get something for December, that would be just an added bonus.
Okay, so we might not see any movement next month when we chat again, or we could see a little bit, which would be our bonus. And Charlie's attending the WERC, so you want to give a little plug for that, Charlie?
Sure, we'll be having a happy hour from 5 to 7 on Tuesday, October 28th, at which time you'll have the opportunity to ask me questions. We'll have kind of an update on what's going on in the world. And again, you can ask me questions of interest, no case specific questions, but otherwise, I'm fair game.
Yeah, so there's the QR code, or you can use the link that we'll provide below to register. And with that, that's the end of our Visa Bulletin update for November. Thanks, Charlie.
All right. See you next month.